Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 9 of the Health and Fitness Podcast. I am your host once again, Coach Paul Correale. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at coachcorreale@gmail.com. Now, just a little bit about my training and what's happened. I just finished the 10,000 swing challenge, and I'm currently now doing a program where I'm back to the barbell and I'm really excited about getting back to the barbell. I'm doing a program called Southwood, and it involves 3 to 4 major movements, especially the power clean, military press, front squat, bench press. I'm not doing because I just don't have that equipment in my home gym. And it's a 3-day a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the rep schemes for each exercise are, first set is 8 reps, second set is 6 reps, third set is 4 reps, and then you move on to the next exercise. It's a good change of pace from the 500 swings a day. I'm liking the increase in volume, the increase in the hypertrophy, getting higher numbers. Remember, when you hear that term hypertrophy, this is essentially getting into the idea of higher repetitions. Classical hypertrophy would be 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 10, maybe even 3 sets of 12. And now we're kind of getting away from the strength aspect and maybe getting more into the muscle building, the hypertrophy phasing. So I'll be doing that for a couple weeks. On the Tuesday and the Thursday of a standard week, then I'll be doing some complex work just with the empty barbell or very, very lightweight, 6 exercises, 8 repetitions each for 5 sets. And the idea is to keep your hands on the bar through the whole time. It's a good kind of cardiovascular hit, a little bit of a change of pace from the volume building that I was doing the day previous. Sample complex would be hang snatches, wide grip, staying within that wide grip, 8 overhead squats, then 8 back squats, 8 good mornings, 8 rows, getting the bar from the back of the neck into row position, bent over row, and then 8 snatch grip or wide grip deadlifts. Then about a minute rest, maybe a minute and a half rest, and continue with the next set for 5. So that's been so far so good. This is about middle of the first week of doing that. The question comes up is, where do I start? Do I have enough skill to start a strength training program? You get into this fatigue of decision making of where do I start? What do I do? What do I need? And I like to train as generalist as possible, as minimalist as possible. And I think 2 activities/skills that people can work on is planking and hanging from a bar. The idea of being able to plank requires a great deal of generation of internal forces, just building up that kind of a normal weight belt, so to speak. And being able to keep the abdominal pressure high and holding that is characteristic of what we want to see within a plank. But it's that same intra-abdominal pressure that you have to withstand that you need to, let's say, get under the bar and wedge for a deadlift, or be able to press something overhead, or be able to perform a ballistic move like a kettlebell snatch or a barbell snatch or a barbell clean and jerk. So being able to do a proper plank, and don't get confused with doing ab work and plank work. There's some crossover there, but if you're truly practicing your planks, remember when we say push-up position plank, you're in that extended plank. If you're doing a low plank, you're on forearms, but all the while you're trying to develop that intra-abdominal pressure. A very easy activity you can do is if you put your thumbs right at the edge of your rib cage and you try to put your pinkies on the edges of the top portion of your hip, and you just bring your the hip, your thumbs and your fingers together, bring that closer, now I'm in a very sturdy, a very strong position. If I turn to the side when I do that, my back is completely straight. If I relax, I'm in this lumbar position. Now getting into this position here, I am completely firm within my intra-abdominal surface, within the core column, okay? So the idea is that you should be able to practice that move. You should be able to get into a solid plank. You should be able to immediately generate that internal pressure by just taking a sharp breath in, stiffening, and that is going to carry over to so many different activities, so many lifts. When you see people doing deadlifting, the fear is that you're injuring their back. Well, if you've practiced all the cues, especially you've stiffened the abdominal area, you've externally rotated shoulders, so you've stiffened the posterior of the back, you're going to be in great shape. So practicing planks carries over, and that can be very simply as, you don't think of it as being able to hold planks for a very large amount of time at the very beginning. Although being able to hold a 2-minute plank, I think, is a great attribute of fitness, being able to do that amongst other things. Timing yourself with a Tabata Pro timer, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 rounds, practice. You have to be able to think that strength is a skill, and you have to practice that skill. Remember, a workout is something that gets us all sweaty, we gets our heart rate up, but when we practice in a training session, we're practicing for a greater purpose. Now, getting to bar hanging, the chin-up or the pull-up is probably one of the most great indicators of strength. Being able to, remember, chin-up, pull-up, being able to get yourself over the bar, your chin over a bar, so to speak. So there is a lot of difficulty with that exercise. People kind of think, hey, body weight exercises, do push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups, it's an easy way. But body weight training does require a lot of coaching, a lot of cueing. Having the requisite skill beforehand will help with this transition to practicing those body weight activities. So when we get to bar hanging, please remember, you can passively hang on the bar where your shoulders will droop and you'll drop down. There's some benefit to doing that, right, by bar hanging. If you practice actively hanging, where you're externally rotating the shoulders back, you're getting strength developing, you're getting range of motion practice within the shoulders, this will benefit eventually when you're ready to actually do your pull or your chin up. And then it transfers over to any type of barbell lift, a kettlebell lift. Hanging on to that bar is developing grip strength, which is going to help to transition to those other indicators. So, thinking of, I don't have a bar to hang off of. Find the local playground. It doesn't take very long. If you can do it every day. It could be hanging for a couple rounds of 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 30 seconds. That work of just hanging there is great for the shoulder, and it's a good starting point to getting that first pull-up, eventually working towards that first pull-up amongst doing, let's say, horizontal rows with a kettlebell or a dumbbell or barbell rows. So between planking, and bar hanging, these are two activities that have a lot of crossover to other disciplines. They're not difficult to do, but they do require practice, not working out, but practice in order to gain that skill, in order for you to use them in your training and fitness journey. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions or comments, please contact me at coachcorreale@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from you and hope to see you soon.